have another father in the house.
Oh, yes.
Welcome, Zeal Zainuddin, our motivational speaker for the day. We've seen the wishes, the Father's Day wishes just now. What's your view on when it comes to fathers and dealing with their children, especially teenagers?
But before that, maybe we can ask people to call in 2282-9062 or 0322823043 and give your opinion on our topic today.
Your experience.
Teenage years, trouble or purposeful?
Yep, your experiences and your suggestions. Do you think teenagers are acting out of because they want to tell us something, or it's just a hormonal process?
Or is the latest, technology too much of exposure towards, Western style of living or something?
Yeah, actually, before doing this session this morning, right, I was thinking of a topic, what to talk about. So one of the reasons why I chose this topic, because Mushida and I, we do a lot of programs for teenagers, for parents, for teachers, right? And one of the things that always comes out after the seminar, the parents will always come up with us and they will share with us the challenges that they face with their teenager.
So what are the challenges?
So what,
so some of the challenges are like the students, the teenagers don't want to study, they don't have interest in studying. That's one thing, right? And a few other things are they have having disciplinary problems, like they start to smoke, they start come home late, and they do all of other things that we know of, right? So what I usually tell the parents, right, this what they are doing, right, is only a symptom only of the actual problem.
There is an underlying problem there. Okay, one question now. They always say children are the mirror for the parents. So is it one of the, I don't know, is it one of the things you tell to your clients that when their teenagers are acting out, you should look at yourself first? Before you start blaming them, oh, you're acting out, you have discipline problems, why you're not studying, are you stupid, are you just plain lazy? When I was, they always say, oh, when I was younger, this is what I do. So, but again, aren't teenagers acting out because the parents are doing something wrong in terms of, giving them what kind of foundation that they really need?
Okay, I was just about to get to that, right? What I tell the parents is whatever the teenager are doing, whether it's dropping out in school or having some problems, is usually only a symptom of a very deeper problem, right? The deeper problem is actually something which is the root. The root is when they were younger, right? Usually when I read psychology books and also go to seminars that talk about how we were brought up, they always talk about this 0 to 6 years frame. Where this 0 to 6 years is where our belief system is being shaped, and this is actually the root of it, right? What happens between this 0 to 6 years is what I would say, if we do our own research or we ask parents, is the most neglected time of the child's life. Because it's most parents, they are very busy with their work, they go to work and they usually leave their children with other people to take care, especially the education part. So what happens is, if during this period we get positive things, education, then the teenagers will grow up being very confident, very purposeful people. But the problem is, most of the time we get negative influences. And most of it is, sorry to say, is from the television that they watch. Yeah, but there are situations when the parents have given everything. And we can't exactly deny the fact that parents will have to work. So how do they work around these challenges to ensure that their children are not neglected and will not give problems in the long run? Because when they get to the teenage years, that's when the whole drama starts. Like you said, not coming home early, starting smoking. But it's a bit too late to prevent them now and the challenges that they face as of now. So how do we do it? And
I think some parents do have this dilemma. You live in a rat race here. I'm not just saying in the big city itself, even in small cities. You have to, it's a rat race. You have to earn a lot of money for your children to be able to support your children, to have a better future. You have to work. You have to somehow have somebody else take care of your children. So I think a lot of parents out there have this really heavy guilt on their shoulder that I cannot do anything. So again, how do you go around it?
Sometimes for me as a parent, I also get into this trap where, because we do our own business, right? We're very busy and we don't really have time for our child, for our daughter Munira. But what I do is, all of us, we must be aware, right? As long as we know that what we're doing is not right, then we have the ability to change. But if we choose to ignore it, right, or we're not aware, we're ignorant, that's when the problem arises.
Munira, she's about 10 now.
No, she's about 6 now, going to 7
now.
years.
She looks 10. She's as smart as somebody who's 10 years old.
We know you and Murshida personally, and you know how you embrace love and respect, and
how well your
but there are parents, there are couples who actually don't see eye to eye, and the mom will be on the side of the child, and the dad will go against it. So communication among parents.
How do you handle that? You know, there's always this big issue of when the father is, you know, how do not really nagging. You know, the father is being very angry towards the son or daughter, teaching them a lesson, and the mother backs the children up and, you know, openly say, no, you're wrong, you shouldn't say this.
So what's your take on this?
So shouldn't be the children be a bit confused?
Okay, I would like to comment, like, for those parents who are actually listening, right? They should actually, the parents should take responsibility, right, of improving themselves. Sometimes we as parents, we want our children to change. You must do this, you must do that, right? But we do not actually change ourselves. So when we are operating from a negative mind frame, we actually transferring our negative energy to our child. And that's why sometimes they act out, right? And when I talk about the 0 to 6 years, because that is the foundation, right? Every action and every behavior that they have is actually based on that 0 to 6 years.
Okay.
Where if we put negative things, for example, I'll give you an example, right? If the child is in a constant environment of violence or anger or a lot of issues with the parents, right? When the child grows up, they will have that belief system where if it's a girl, if she sees the father beating up the mother or shouting at the mother,
for her to be beat up.
He will have issues in relationship. She will think like she will sabotage your relationship. No matter if she gets a good guy, also he will sabotage. If it's a guy, then when he grows up, he will do that the same to his wife or his children.
And seeing that there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, what is the right balance now? I think a lot of parents these days, it's hard to find a balance of disciplining your child. Now we're talking about teenagers, yes, but let's talk about the foundation. You know, disciplining your child or teenagers, but again, being overly giving. You know, because again, the rat race, you're working extra hard. You know, you don't have time for your kids. But when you have time, all you do is, what do you want? I want an iPad. Okay, I'll give you one because I don't spend a lot of time with you. You know, so compensating for the time not being spent with kids. So what is the right balance where this is the time to say no? And this is the time to say, you know what, I'm going to stop my work and I'm going to give you a hug instead of an iPad. Yes.
Actually, it's a very good question because one of my students, I asked them to do a survey, right? Do a survey on teenagers and youth. What are the challenges that they face in their family? And you know what? Most of them, they don't even want the material things. No, they actually want more time with the parents.
Really?
Yeah, some kids, they said, you know what the comments was? I wish I could spend time eating with my family. Sometimes they don't even eat together as a family. So sometimes they don't want material things, but they want the time, the love, and the companionship of the parents. But sometimes the parents, we have our blind spot. Right? We mislook that. We have high expectations in the results. We do not spend time with quality time with our children, and this builds a gap between us and our children. That's why when they become a teenager, we find very hard to actually communicate with them. But I tell you seriously, it's not a death sentence. That means, right, you can actually reverse it. Right? Even though you have come to that stage where my teenage not talking to me, I'm having a lot of challenges in communicating with my teenagers, right? You can actually reverse that. And one of the most powerful way that I've learned, which I want to share with parents, is the process of forgiveness.
How about, okay, I like it when you say the process of forgiveness. Okay, the mother should forgive the kids, the children, the teenagers, the children when they do something wrong. How is it a very powerful thing to do when parents ask for forgiveness?
Okay, that's very good.
Say they are sorry.
Yes, very good.
Because a lot of parents, they don't do that, especially those from the old school generation, we can say that.
I agree, because what happened is when the parents do something wrong to the child keeps an anger inside, an anger issue, and every action that the parents do will be linked to that issue. So, like I give you an example. Recently, I did counseling or coaching with troubled youth, and the parents keep calling me, you know, why my child is like this, not studying, doing this and that. Now I say, okay, never mind, let me talk to your child. So I did talk to the child, and to cut the story short, I don't go into the detail, but he has anger issues. So what I did was I did a simple process of forgiveness where it's a visualization process where I asked him to imagine him forgiving his parents.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's a visualization that it takes about 10-15 minutes, and you know what happened after that? I was amazed, because before that it's so hard to get him to participate. I mean, he's a very polite, very nice boy, but it's obvious he has anger issues, but it's very hard for him to participate and like answer my questions. But after the process, you can see his whole body changed. He was lighter, he was smiling, And then a few weeks after that, I called the parents and I said, how's your boy? You know what they said? He's okay already.
Okay, now with having you said that, some parents will have issues about letting a third party come in and settle their problems because it will reflect as if they can't do a good job.
Don't air your dirty laundry in
you can't do a
public.
good job handling your child. That's why you have another person stepping in and trying to save the situation. What's your take on parents having a third party come and resolve this?
Yes. My belief is the parents must take responsibility to talk to the child themselves, right? They must make the first attempt, right? If they have tried and does not work, sometimes the child just does not want to talk to them or communicate with them. Maybe at that time they must get a third party. You know why? Because when the communication breaks down, you must get somebody that the child trusts to come in, or somebody at least the child can look up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you said that, wouldn't it be, what impact would it have on the parents on the long run? Because he's not going to listen to me, he's just only going to listen to you. So how do they regain that trust that the kid will start listening to them
What
again?
happened is, for me, the child has anger issues, right? So he will not be able to resolve any of his problems that he have unless he get rid of these anger issues. So for me, what I do is a third party is good because the child will not be able to talk to the parents to share his problems. He did not share with his problems to his parents, but us as a third party, we can be very judgmental, non-judgmental. Yeah, that means we do not judge him. Let him share whatever he wants to share. Then I go to that forgiveness process.
So that means your advice, even if the parents wants to have another a third party in trying to solve the problem, they shouldn't use another family member. Do you think that is also because the issue of being judgmental?
It depends on who the family member is. If it's somebody who is a good role model and the child can look up to, is good. But if the family is the type who's emotionally involved and they always want to, like take control, then for me, my advice is better not to.
Better not to. Okay. As all the teenagers are talking about this, the birds and the bees. How open should be with children? They say these days they say you should start sex education when in primary school. How open should you start talking about sex education? Because it's very normal, even let's not just talk about sex education. It can be sex education, it can be bullying problems, it can be anger management. How young should you start? Should you start when again 0 to 6, or maybe in primary school, or you know what, let's just leave the teachers to handle that?
Like for myself, right, I believe that this is the reality of life. It's nothing that we should be ashamed of, because this thing, like the birds and the bees, is part of life, right? And it's better our children to know from us than to learn from their friends or learn from some TV or video, right? So it's better for us to be very direct and straightforward with them, so where we can share with them about the truth, and they will, anything that they want to ask, they will come to us. I remember my mentor, she used to, like, her children used to ask questions, Dr. Rosita, she asked a question on this question, and she used to tell her children directly, she does not hide. Right, and then when the children have any problem, they come to her instead of going to other people.
Before we go on explaining that, we have something that we want to share with you guys. The bigger question is, of course, teenage problem, is it actually a trouble or purposeful? So let's check this one out.
How I grew up, my parents always support me and my siblings, and they always encourage us to do what we like. So that's it lah.
What do you do to bring out the best in your kids?
Of course, we grow them out, especially education. We need to guide them so that they will become one day will become a good person.
If let's say like they make mistake, so like are you gonna straight away scold them, or maybe like you have to sit down and talk with them?
Sit down, talk to them, to guide them, to advise them. Next time, don't do it again.
I'll give them all my best. Whatever they want, we'll deliver. Whatever they, in terms of education, in terms of all their needs, whatever they need, as far as I'm concerned, that they are the most important persons in this world for me. If I have children, right?
Alright, Zeal, before we let you go this morning, what's your message to all parents who are dealing with a teenage drama as of now?
Okay, for me, right, for parents out there, right, I would share with you that the children is our gift, is a gift to us actually. It's our legacy that if we bring them up right, they will be very purposeful people and they will do good things on earth. And when they become leaders, they can make changes, right? So it's our responsibility for parents is to actually give them the best quality education, which is a balance between our academic education and as well as life skills. So when they go out into the real world, they are able to function and actually add value to the world. And I tell you, it makes a lot of difference.
Okay, I like it when you say life skills. So again, thank you very much, Zeal. I like it when you say life skill, and again, maybe we should give our children what they need instead of what they want. Is that the right term? You know, is that something that they need?
Okay.
Just literally they want it again, but you know, something they need. It can be something that they don't think it's even purposeful later in life.
Okay. I would like to. Okay, I forgot to mention this, but I would like to add to as a closing, right? Every one of us, we actually we were born with a purpose.
Okay.
We have to achieve a certain purpose, and why we are all so different is because we are actually born. We have special strength and talents to achieve this purpose.
Okay.
So actually, in ourselves, we already know that purpose, but we just have to find it. Right? So for our children, for parents, is actually to find out what our children are strong at, their strength is, and actually to guide them, to coach them. It might not be academic per se.
Yes,
they might not be straight A students. They may be good in sports.
They may be late bloomers.
They may be good in sports or any other thing. But it's our parents to actually build them up. Right? You see, most of the successful people in the world, they're not just academic inclined, but they're good in other things as well.
Alright, so that's something for our parents to ponder about today. This is something that you can do, parents and teenagers. You can go to the KL Music Festival 2012.